Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reading with Drew. Today, we'll be reading Chapter 4 of Perloo the Bold by ABI. Um, so far, the story's been good. We don't really know what's going on, but we have a lot of character stuff and setting stuff. Overall, though, this book is awesome so far, and I can't wait to finish it as an adult. Okay, let's dig in. Let's do it. Blue. Perloo. Chapter 4. Some questions. Dun dun dun. Is Jolene suffering a great deal? Perloo asked. Berwig led him away. Suffering, Berwig sputtered. In place of his sham smile was a hard, furious look. She's decrepit. Useless. She's so old she can't think right. Sorry to hear it, Perloo said. She's been wonderful granter. That's what you say, Berwick said, squeezing Perloo's neck even tighter. Behind them marched the three warriors, pikes on the ready. Perloo's previous visits to Jolene had all taken place in her busy public rooms, high in the burrow. Though he had never seen her private chambers, he assumed that they were in the same general area as that it was there. Berwig was talking to him. But as they continued to hop forward, taking one turn after another, it became clear to him that they were heading down, and no one else was there. Suddenly, Berwick halted. Perloo, having no choice, stopped too. Hop off, Berwick barked to three warriors. I have something private to say. The three warriors took a few hops back and folded down their ears. Perloo waited patiently as Berwick, laboring with his thoughts, chewed his upper lip. Not for an instant, however, did the big fellow loosen his grip. Look here, Berwick finally burst out, eyes more squinty than ever. I need to know why Jolene sent for you. Perloo blinked his baggy eyes. I wasn't told, he replied. That's a lie, Berwick cried. She asked you to come, didn't she? The Cabara only said Jolene asked me to visit. Brushing aside the explanation with a wave of his paw, Berwick said, You used to talk to Jolene a lot, in private, huddled together like conspirators. I want to know what it was all about. We enjoyed talking about mythology and history, Blue explained. What kind of history? Berwick demanded. Mortimer history. Berwick snorted with contempt. I don't care slush for history. What I want to know, and I want to know now, is what else you talk about. You were the only one who she spoke to like that. I was? What did my mother say what happened when she died? She didn't say anything, Perloo said. Why would she? I am nobody. Exactly, Berwick sneered, ears shaking with anger. I mean, Perloo went on, it would have been rude to ask her such a thing. It's none of my business. Besides, I'm not even interested in politics or anything like that. You did ask her because, Berwick began to say, but only cut himself off. Instead, he yanked at his whisker ends, even while his nose quivered, as if he could smell out what he was seeking. What about the Felbarts? He barked. The Felbarts? You're stalling, Berwick screamed. What did she say about the Felbarts? We only talked about old wars, Perloo said. How she hoped we'd never have another war with them. Said she'd get rid of our warriors, didn't she? I don't think so. I think the army is our best friend, Berwick bellowed, loud enough for the three warriors to hear. Well, actually, Perloo began. She. Never mind, Berwick cut in. Just tell me what she told you about the successor. Her what? In an outburst of frustration, Berwick kicked out with one of his long feet, striking Perloo hard across his skinny shins. Taken by surprise, Perloo fell to the ground. Stop acting like a worm, Berwick barked. I want to know what my mother said about her successor. Nothing, Perloo returned, rubbing the place where he'd been hit and deeply regretted having come. Of all the... mumbled Berwig. He glanced at the warriors who had inched forward. Stand back, he snapped. Bend those ears. If you want a promotion when I become Granter, do as you're told. The warriors leaped to do as ordered. Berwig, bending over Perloo, grasped his smock at the neck and hauled him to his feet. Are you saying that Jolene never talked to you about what would happen after she died? Not once? Ever? Perloo, truly wishing he could provide a satisfactory answer, searched his memory. Well, once she did tell me how she succeeded her father's place when her father chose her as a tribe leader. Berwig's nose turned crimson. She wasn't chosen, he bellowed. She was his only cub. As I'm hers, it was automatic. I suppose that's true, Perloo agreed, wanting more than anything to avoid arguments. He would have given a lot to be back in his snug burrow. When she dies, Berwick snarled, the title comes to me, do you understand? Me! What I need to know, he went on, as if you speak to her now. What are you going to say? I was just going to listen, Perloo insisted. Really, I'm only here because Jolene sent for me. Maybe it wasn't you she sent for. But I thought, I don't care if Fleas knows what you think, Berwig cried, his ears shaking. My mother is old, out of her mind. She talks nothing but gibberish. But I thought she sent for me, and Berwig struck out another blow, kicking so hard Perloo fell back against the wall. There he slumped, legs smarting painfully. Put him in the middle cell, Berwick ordered. I'll take care of him later. The three warriors hopped forward, gathered the hapless Perloo up by his stubby arms, and hauled him away down an old dusty tunnel. The ground was littered with rubble. Walls were crumbling. The way grew narrower too, and save for an occasional sputtering candle, darker and gloomier the farther they went. When they did come to a halt, one of the warriors yanked open a door and flung Perloo into a small wood-paneled room. The door slammed behind him. A peg was set. When this door next opens, one of the warriors shouted through the door, it'll be us, Berwig's friends, and that will be the end of you. Yeah. Okay, so that was a really quick chapter. It was a good one though. Really gives you like insight on Berwig without the Monomer clan people like around, and he's definitely a jerk and wants to rule everyone. And I think what is gonna happen is Jolene. Sorry, my eye itched. Jolene is doesn't want him to be the successor. She doesn't want him to be king because obviously he's a douche. And well, most of all, he's unqualified to be a leader. So, and I think Jolene's probably going to try to convince Perloo to be the successor. But Perloo doesn't want to be a leader, even though he could, I think. So I've read this once before when I was really young. I was probably like 12 or 11 or something. So I don't really remember a whole lot, but I remember Perloo was awesome in this. And he had good character development. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Kind of similar to The Hobbit in a way, of like they're in their little home, nice and cozy and safe in their little safe bubble. And then someone comes and says, hey, you have to do all this stuff. And they're like not wanting to do it. And then they decide to do it. And then it's a whole adventure after that. So, yeah. So far, so good. Perloo the Bold. That was chapter 4. Some questions. And I might actually read another chapter because it was so quick. But I'm going to end this session and start a new one. So thanks for listening. And yeah, chapter 5 is next.